Hello and welcome to my channel. What I'm going to be doing here is basically running software, showing you programming software for various custom install products, Lutron, Control 4, Rako, things like that, line control systems, whole home control systems. Um, a little bit about myself. I co-own a smart home company, um, and we use this equipment every day, basically. And I often, when looking for a new product, I often found myself searching on Google or YouTube or something like that to try and find information on equipment because I like to know how things work, and how things are programmed. So often I found myself trawling the internet trying to find videos of how to program and actually how to do different things, which is quite interesting that you might need to do on a project. Rather than phoning tech support, seeing it on the screen, seeing someone actually going through the process is quite helpful. So anyway, without any more delays, let's open something up. So I think first of all, very often we use Rako. Rako has been around for a long time. It's a UK-based company. They used to have an old program. Well, this is an old program now to basically configure and commission their equipment. A new product has come out. A new program has come out called Rasoft Pro. Well, it's not new now. It's been out for some time now. So we're going to double-click on that and get this started up. Okay, so here we go. Doesn't take too long to start up. You can see I've been working on some projects here for work, but let's just start a new project and give you a bit of an idea on how this works basically. Actually, this is quite interesting. It's a free download, this software, so you could actually go to Rako Controls and download it direct. So this is a website. Great equipment. It's been around for a long time, so they've really fine-tuned it, and they've got some great products out here. So if you go to support, then if you look here, you have software. Click on that, and you've got a Windows and Mac version actually of Rasoft Pro, which is quite interesting and good if you've got a Mac, if you're a bit of a Mac fan. Okay, so let's close that down. So what you do here is you click on File and New Project, and you're presented with this page. So you can give your project a name. I'm just going to leave it my Rako project, a description, and a house number. Now the house number can be anything, basically, but if you've, if you work on many projects and possibly a CLO or something like that, or some kind of estate of buildings and houses, you obviously need to change this house number and make it unique to the property. Because this system being wired or wireless, you could get some interference between the two houses or buildings. So we'll leave that on 8 for now as a default. Click Next. And here it's just asking for a save location, so yeah, I'll save it in projects. Okay, so in this part you basically begin to build your project. Add rooms. So our first room will be entrance hall. We're going to have lighting in the entrance hall, so add that. And we've got a living room, and in the living room we've got lighting and blinds, and we'll have a master bedroom. There we go, lighting and blinds in there, and a master ensuite. Just lighting in there. Okay, so click Next. Here, if you know what circuits basically are going in each room, then you can add them here, which is quite helpful because it kind of presets the system up. It's quite a nice wizard that they've added actually to with this new software, or newish software. You didn't have these options on the original. So in the entrance hall we're going to have a chandelier, some downlights and 5 amp sockets. Okay, in the living room we've got downlights. We'll have some 5 amp sockets as well. And feature LED. So we're going to have that could be anything really, but so feature LED. Living room, I think this is the blind section, isn't it? So living room blinds, we're going to have shears and then blackout. Master bedroom, actually can I open this, can I make this window bigger? There we go, and then we can expand some of this so we can see the text a bit better. There we go. So master bedroom circuits, we've got downlights. We're going to have some 5 amp sockets in our bedroom and some bedside lights. Master bedroom blind, it's just going to be a blackout. Master ensuite, we have downlights, mirror, fan, and actually that'll be an extract fan. Extract fan, and we will have, what else are we going to have in there? Just some night light, I think, so night LED. There we go, so we've got all our circuits in there. Next, okay, so devices in the system. This is where we will add our devices. So this is where you choose actually whether you have a wired system or a wireless system, or a mix, because you can have a mix of systems as well. What I'm going to do here actually is we'll set this up as a wireless system to start with. So if I click wireless, basically it just reduces all of the equipment to the wireless enabled equipment. So we're going to use a product called a Rako 4. Now if I go back to the Rako website here, go to products, and we can click control modules and rack. So a Rako 4, not lovely device, and they've actually made a new device called a Rako 8, which is 8 circuits. The Rako 4 is 4 circuits, comes in 3 different versions. You've got a phase dimming rack and a 0 to 10 DALI DSI rack and a Rako 4 for blind. So we're going to do some 0 to 10, I think. So we'll have a 0 to 10 rack. Let's go back to our software. To do this we need to actually add an RX link which enables the Rako 4 to be added to a wireless system. On an RX link you can have 4 Rako 4s, just to bear that in mind. So what we'll do is we'll add one of those, and I think we will also add, I think that's everything for the actual devices. One RX link, and then we can add the Rako 4s afterwards. I'll show you how to do that. Next, we'll leave it in intermediate mode. Finish. There we go. So if you look on the left here, we'll just change that. If you look on the left here, we've got our Rako project. House ID is 8. We've got our entrance room, which is given an ID of 9. A room, basically it's a room identification number. Some of the equipment has dip switches on the back of it, like the Rako plates, the control plates, which are, let's go back here, control panels. Here we go. So you can get 2 different versions of this, a wired version and a wireless version. And the RCM versions have dip switches on the back, which allows you to set the room and the house number. Slightly more advanced, they also do a NFC version, which gives you a bit more programmability with the wireless system, in the sense that you can program individual buttons to control different rooms, which is quite a nice feature and can be quite handy, but we'll talk about that in another video. So yeah, let's go back to our software. So that's basically the number is related to the room. So we've got living room 17, the blinds are 18 because that just kind of separates them from the lighting. master bedroom 25, 26 for the blinds, and ensuite 33. So you can see here we've got our RX link, which is going to be used to add our racks for circuits. So if I click on that, at the moment obviously this is all virtual, so you can see this is basically just a virtual database we're running at the moment. We're not going to actually be commissioning any real equipment, but it's just to give you an idea of really how the system is made up. So if we go up to this tab here which says racks, at the moment there's no rack boxes specified. So if we spec an extra rack, and the first one is going to be a rack 4F because we're going to use 0 to 10 circuits. You can add another one. So remember I told you we can do up to 4 racks on one RX link. So we'll add all 4. And I think what I might do is just add one of them is going to be a rack 4T, which is a phase dimmable rack, which will be quite nice for our pendant and for our 5 amp circuits. So there we go. So there's all of our racks. Now on this same, you can see they've added into our device list here as well. You can see the various racks. So on this same tab, if you now go to circuits mapping, you can see all of our circuits 1, 2, 3, 4 of box 0. 1, 2, 3, 4 of box 1. Same for box 2 and same for box 3. So we've got 16 circuits in total. Now, to tell the system which circuits we want in which rack, or how it's going to be basically connected and terminated, you basically click on the room and you can see our rooms here, which is the same as in the room list. So we can click on entrance hall. It says it's room 9, as you can see at the same at the top there. And then in our channels, these are the circuits that we added at the beginning during the wizard process. You can assign new channels as well, which means you can add a channel. Incidentally, if we go to the entrance hall here as well, here again you can see the circuits, and this is an area where basically you can set levels and scenes. You have the buttons here basically, which are going to be your control plate on the wall. So by pressing these buttons you can adjust these sliders. So basically you're programming the buttons to tell the system to adjust and set a level for each circuit. So let's go back to the RX link. So you simply just add our circuits here. So we've got downlights, 0 to 10 downlights, entrance hall. We're going to have actually we've got a rack 4T, haven't we? And I said about using 5 amps in there. So let's go to our rack 4T. I think it's one of these down the bottom here. So entrance hall. So a pendant, we want the chandelier, we like on the rack 4T. Entrance hall, 5 amp sockets. What are that? We've got living room 5 amp, haven't we? Oh, living room 5 amp, and it doesn't matter what order you put these in. Basically, it's just whatever numbers we use here, channels, circuit numbers. You just have to wire the rack 4 in the same way. So you have to make sure, obviously, that the circuit for the chandelier is connected to terminal 1 on the 4th rack, or box 3, because it starts at 0 on the side here, you can see. So what else did we have? We've got a living room. No, we've got a master bedroom, haven't we? Master bedroom 5 amp sockets. So those are nice dimmable, phase dimmable circuits we've got there. Let's carry on up here. So we've also got the living room. Actually, what have I got here? Living room downlights. We've done the 5 amp socket. We've got some feature LED. Master bedroom downlights. Master bedroom bedside lights. Master bedroom. I think it's all for the master bedroom. Sorry. The master ensuite downlights. We've got master ensuite a mirror, which will just be switched on and off, because basically the rack 4F, which we're going to use for this these particular circuits, can be switched. Can be 0 to 10 dimmed, Dali dimmed, or DSI dimmable. It can dim all of those different protocols, which which is great. So master ensuite, what else have we got here? We've got a fan, master ensuite, and the nightlight. So that's all of our circuits that we've put in there. So now when we go across to our room list, actually I've just got to probably click save and upload, even though we're not actually uploading because we're not talking to a real system at the moment. If I click on here now, you can see this is assigned to a rack circuit, You can see at the moment the blinds, because we've not added any devices to control blinds, it says no device assigned. So shall we quickly do that now? Let's add a device. Let's click on wireless again. Now there is a device called a RackUp which can control blinds. Let's have a quick look at the web page. If we go back here, and a RackUp controls modules and racks. So a RackUp looks like, not sure if I can find one here. Let's go to see all. RackUp is, let me do a search quickly, sorry about this. RackUp. That's interesting. That shouldn't really be doing that. Oh, hold on, I just saw something pop up down the bottom there. RackUp. Here we go. So RackUp, down the side here we've got RackUp datasheet. So this will give you a bit of an idea what a RackUp looks like. They've actually not, this is an old design, this module, but they've not actually updated the RackUp yet, so I'm not sure what they've got in store for the RackUps in the future. But anyway, so this is a RackUp. It doesn't actually show any particular, well, very much connection detail. We can zoom in there. So basically, you just have it's an individual module. You can have a feed in, and then here's your terminals here for the blind connection, basically. So that's all we really need to know there. Let's go back here, and we will choose a RackUp. Next, associate to room. So we've got some blinds in the living room. And we have shears, so we can click next there, nope, and then finish, and we can add another RackUp for, go back to there, RackUp relay module. So in the living room again we've also got blackout blinds, so we've got shears and blackout blinds in a window in the living room. Next, just click no because we're not on a live system. Finish. So you can see these devices being added here, and you can see their respective rooms and the circuits that they're actually meant to be controlling. I'll add another device. Another way of actually doing this is if we go to master bedroom here, you can click there and then click new device. So that's an alternative way of adding rather than right mouse clicking in the device list there. So we've got another RackUp. That's going to do the blackouts in the master bedroom. Nope. Finish. So basically this is all just a virtual system that we've written at the moment, but this is pretty much programmed. You know, we've programmed a small system here. Scene setting, as I said before, you basically click on the button. This button here, this row button, scene 1, 2, 3, 4, and off, is pretty much one of your scene plates, which we looked at, I think, back here. Went to control panels, didn't we? So here's a 7 button. This is a wide button, but this is basically what it looks like. So there's your 1, 2, 3, 4 and off buttons. Incidentally, these plates can be engraved, which looks fantastic, but we can discuss all of these things on a later video. This is just basically an overview of Rako, so we can go a bit more into this later on. So look out for some new videos on Rako. So yeah, scene setting, press the scene that you want to adjust pretty much, and you just slide the sliders. Not sure what's going on there. There we go. I think it's because I'm actually offline. I'm not. There we go. I've not actually got a device attached to this. But yeah, so you just adjust your sliders to whatever levels you want. Normally, I mean, this is a personal preference, but I'd have scene 1 would be, I think you can also enter in here, So scene 1 would be 100%. Store scene. Yep. Scene 2. You might think, okay, on scene 2 I'd like the chandelier on, but the down light's off. And we'll have a bit of light for the 5 amps as well, so we'll leave those on. Store scene. Scene 3, no chandelier. Downlights at 50, 5 amps. Store scene. And on scene 4, it's kind of like a night scene. So we'll just have the 5 amp on at 25% there. Store. So there we go, we've literally scene set our entrance hall as well. You can see these are still obviously default at the moment. Yeah, there we go. And that's it. That's basically, we've just set up a system. We've built a system here. You can see the various circuits they've been input into these, the rack 4 boxes here, the rack circuits, and we've added our relay modules here for the blinds. So that is it. I mean, that's basically a quick overview of Rako, and we're going to delve into it a bit more on some later videos. If we look back at the website here, there's lots and lots of different things you can do with Rako. There's interfaces to allow you to bridges, which allow you to use a phone, an iPhone, for controlling the system, so with a nice app. There's bridges, time control bridges, various things which allow you to automate your system even more. They've also recently brought out an IoT bridge, basically, which works with HomeKit and will work with Alexa eventually. Fantastic products, and they're always innovating, Rako, so it's great stuff, and it's good to revisit their website from time to time because they're always bringing out new products. Okay, so that's it for now. Keep an eye out, thumbs up, subscribe, do whatever everyone else kind of shouts out when they're doing these YouTube videos. Whatever you can, and then even requests of certain things. You can see I've got some we use Control 4, we've got Lutron, we've got various different products that we use in our company. So bye for now, and I'll see you again soon.